Danger walks the strip. No ghosts, only shadows.
They missed once. They won't miss twice.
Strip Hunter, in theaters now.
So 2 men in black, a scooter in the darkness, an improvised explosive device planted at one of Vegas' most iconic locations. At 2:19 a.m., they lit the fuse, they vanished into the night. The explosion rocked the strip, but here's the terrifying part. Nobody knew that the bomb went off for 8 hours. 8 hours these bombers had to escape, to plan their next move, to disappear completely. The FBI, ATF, and counterterrorism units are hunting them right now as we speak. But what you're about to learn about this attack will make your blood run cold. This wasn't random, folks. This was a message. Keep watching. So this is every American's nightmare coming true. Las Vegas, our playground, our escape, and our symbol of American entertainment, just became a terror target again. 2 bombers are running free right now after detonating an IED at Piero's Italian restaurant, the legendary establishment featured in Casino, where Sinatra held court even, where mob bosses made history. This wasn't just any restaurant. This was Vegas royalty. But here's what should terrify you. The bomb exploded at 2:19 a.m., and the police didn't find out that anything even happened until 10:30 in the morning when the cleaning crew showed up. That's 8 hours and 17 minutes these terrorists had to escape, destroy evidence, cross state lines, or worse, plant more devices. How many other bombs could be ticking right now? How many other targets did they scout? I mean, that's serious questions, folks. The FBI, ATF, and Metro's Counterterrorism Division are treating this as a coordinated attack. And think about that. It's not vandalism. It's not a prank. A coordinated terrorist attack on American soil, steps from where the strip, where millions of tourists pour in every year, like your family, your friends, your next vacation, all potential targets if these bombers are not caught. And right now they're winning. They're out there. Nobody knows where they're going to strike next. So while terrorists plant bombs in Vegas and authorities take 8 hours to notice somehow, cyber terrorists work around the clock, stealing identities with zero delay. These digital bombers just detonated the biggest email hack in history. 183 million passwords exposed, including yours if you use Gmail. They're not waiting 8 hours to strike. They're draining accounts and destroying credit cards as we speak, like right now. Virtual Shield is your anti-terrorism unit for the digital battlefield. They monitor the dark web 24/7, send instant alerts when your data surfaces, and provide up to $5 million in protection if identity thieves attack. Their U.S.-based rapid response team handles everything. This Black Friday, fortify your family's defenses for just $4.88 a month at virtualshield.com/next news. Again, don't wait 8 hours to discover that you guys have been hit. Get Virtual Shield now at virtualshield.com/next news now. So, the details are getting darker as Sheriff Kevin McMahill confirms this was a targeted bombing. It's not random violence, folks, but a deliberate attack on a Vegas institution. The suspects were dressed all in black, not like this, but like with face masks and stuff. They used a scooter for quick escape and knew exactly where to find the device for maximum impact. This was planned, rehearsed, and executed. And you know what's even more disturbing? The former owner's son was in court that very morning on harassment charges for making threatening call to Piero's. Authorities claim that there's no connection, but, the timing is pretty suspicious. New ownership, old grudges, mob stuff, and suddenly bombs are exploding. Plus, the device burned for minutes before detonating. If anybody had been leaving the restaurant, we'd be counting bodies right now. These bombers wanted casualties. Pure luck prevented a massacre. So now witness the terror that struck Las Vegas as federal agents hunt 2 bombers who remain at large after attacking an iconic piece of Vegas history. So listen up. 2 cowards dressed in black, planting bombs in darkness. They're running from their own shadows. This is what weakness looks like, folks. Attacking a restaurant at 2 a.m. because you're too pathetic to face the light? Watch this breaking news report that shows exactly what these terrorists did to an American landmark. Real men build, folks. Cowards, they destroy. And these bombers, they're bottom of humanity's barrel. Take a look.
And police are searching for 2 suspects tonight after a bombing early this morning at the legendary Las Vegas Italian restaurant Piero's. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Live at 6, I'm Trisha Keene.
And I'm Melissa Bethencourt. Abel is on assignment. Police say there are no injuries, but there is damage to Piero's near the Strip on Convention Center Drive. And that's where we find our Ryan Ketchum live from the scene. Ryan, what's the latest?
Hey there, Alyssa and Tricia. Yeah, this area is fully back open to the public. Police opening it back up about an hour and a half ago. Convention Center Drive was fully closed as police were investigating this bombing. It was closed to the west of Las Vegas Boulevard to east of Paradise Road. And this is actually where it all happened, Piero's Italian Cuisine. And you may actually see a lot of cars in the parking lot. I actually just spoke to a representative of Piero's, and they said they're actually open for dine-in tonight despite the small explosion. Police say that around 2:19 this morning, two men in all black placed an explosive device on the restaurant and it went off. Luckily, no one was there, so there are no injuries. But police said that they first heard about the small explosion about 8.5 hours later when the cleaning crew at Piero's notified them.
So it took the cleaning crew to notice that a bomb went off. But the cool part is that Piero's stayed open. And that's strength, guys. That's Vegas. These terrorists wanted fear. They got defiance instead. Now pay attention to the timeline here. 8.5 hours. That's how long these rats had to run. And they are rats. And that's how long our security failed us. Two men plant a bomb and nobody notices until the cleaning crew show up? Come on. This is what happens when we get soft, when we stop watching, when we assume someone else will protect us. And watch how this attack exposed every weakness in our system. Take a look.
Police say that the two suspects are still on the loose. Meanwhile, several shows are ongoing at the convention center, and I spoke to a few of those attendees earlier today about this bombing. What's your reaction to hearing that there was a small explosion here?
It's very scary. I mean, here we are at a wedding show with 4.5 million square feet of conference center, convention center, and there's an explosion 1 block away. What's the chance of that?
Do you ever expect something like this to happen, though?
No, definitely not. You know, we come from a small town of 15,000 people, so I don't expect this to happen at all.
If you're not familiar with Piero's, it's a very famous restaurant in Las Vegas. It opened back in 1982 and was in the movie Casino. It is known for being a popular spot for celebrities and even the Las Vegas mob scene. Well, it was sold to a new owner earlier this year. Meanwhile, the former owner's son, Evan Glussman, was in court today on a harassment charge, among others. Court documents show that he has made threatening phone calls to Piero's. Now, we do want to be clear, no connection has been made with Glussman and this incident. And there's still no indication on who did it and why. But while police continue their search for the suspects tonight, they do say that there is no active threat to the community at this time. But once again, as I did mention, you did hear me correctly, Piero's did sustain damage after the small explosion, but they are fully open and they are taking all their reservations in tonight for dine-in.
So convention attendees are walking past a bombing scene, like families at risk, and these bombers are still out there planning their next move. The sheriff speaks. Listen to a real leader lay out the facts. Two males, all black clothing, one scooter, one bomb, and guess what? 0 arrests. Sheriff McMahill doesn't sugarcoat it. These terrorists are outstanding, which means that they're out there right now. Watch him admit what every American fears. Our security failed for 8 hours straight, guys. This is what happens when evil moves faster than justice. Take a look.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Kevin McMahill. I'm the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. At about 2:19 this morning, two males dressed all in black arrived at the restaurant behind me known as Piero's at 355 Convention Center. One of them was on a scooter. They got off the scooter, walked up to the front door of the restaurant and placed an improvised explosive device. That device was then ignited, and after a couple minutes of burning, it then detonated, causing some damage to the unoccupied building at that time. We did not receive any reporting on this device going off until about 10:36 this morning when their cleaning crew came in. That cleaning crew then went forward and notified the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department of a bombing that had occurred earlier that day. When we arrived, became obvious to us that a device had exploded, and we are now in the midst of that investigation. This investigation is being coordinated through our armor team, which is our all hazards team, along with the FBI, the ATF, and of course my counterterrorism section here at Metro. I want to assure the community, obviously because we're near the Las Vegas Strip, that there is no further threat that we are aware of or that we are investigating. We do know that these two individuals are outstanding, and we'll be providing additional information to you in
I think that's almost scarier than that the government were here to help you. No further threat that we are aware of. And that's not reassurance, guys. That's hope disguised as certainty while bombers roam free. The investigation reveals disturbing patterns, like threatening phone calls, a former owner's son in court, like new ownership, old grudges, and now bombs, of all things, right? So while authorities refuse to connect the dots publicly, the timing screams louder than their denials. And Vegas security just got exposed as theater. 8 hours to notice a bombing? I mean, like, seriously. Like, 2 suspects vanished without a trace. Federal agencies playing catch-up. If they can hit Piero's, they can hit anywhere. Like the Bellagio, the MGM Grand, your hotel. And the Strip will never feel the same because now we know. Terrorists can strike our most iconic locations, and we might not even notice until the morning shift arrives. It's insane. But here's the truth that they don't want you to process. Las Vegas just proved our security is an illusion. 2 terrorists planted a bomb at a landmark restaurant and had an 8-hour head start before anybody noticed. 8 hours, guys. They could be in Mexico. Guess what? They could be in Canada. They could be in your city right now. And the FBI admits they have no idea who these men are or where they went. But they know one thing. Whoever builds IEDs doesn't stop at just one. These aren't amateurs. They're trained. They're motivated. And they're still out there. Vegas was a test run, and what comes next could make this look like a firecracker. So this changes everything about Vegas security. 2 bombers walked up to an iconic restaurant, planted an IED, and disappeared into thin air. For 8 hours, that bomb site sat unguarded, unnoticed, and unknown. And if terrorists can hit Piero's and vanish without a trace, nowhere is safe. Not the casinos, not the shows, not the hotels where millions of Americans vacation every year. The FBI, ATF, and counterterrorism units are scrambling. But let's be honest, these bombers are ghosts. They studied their target, executed their plan, and evaporated. They're probably watching the news coverage right now. If you're watching, turn yourself in. You guys are scumbags. And they're planning their next strike. Because bombers don't build one device, they build arsenals. So here's my question to you guys. Should Vegas shut down all major venues until these terrorists are caught? Let me know in the comments, yes or no. And if you guys want gear that shows you're aware and prepared, check out our merch shop merch shop below. In times like these, vigilance isn't paranoia, it is survival.